Why am I a Republican? Well, that's a fair question. I think it all started when my old man threatened to throw me out of the house when he found out I might vote for that peanut farmer. Although Jimmy Carter did go on to sign a bill into law that said you could brew beer legally at home, my first vote in an election went to Gerald Ford. As in college, I was exposed to a lot of liberal ideas. It didn't change my belief, but it was challenged when it came time to decide where I was going to take my engineering degree. And there were basically two types of companies that were looking for engineers, and that was the private sector companies and defense contractors. And it really challenged my thought. I came from that era of the Vietnam War, and it made making a decision difficult. And so I confided in one of my faculty advisors, and he said, "Chris," he goes, I can't make the decision for you." He says, "The only thing that I can advise you is that there's just a lot of wolves in the world," and that small piece of advice made a difference, and a difference in the direction of my life. And I wound up taking that engineering job at Kodak and in their government contracting division, and wound up working on things that kept our eyes on the wolves. So when you work in the defense industry, you have a different perspective of the world. You see things a little bit differently, and it just makes you a little more hawkish. So I guess, if I were to all sum it up, I'd say that Republicans are independent, they're self-reliant, sometimes defiant, stand for personal responsibility. They run a tight financial ship. I think people look to them for ideas and inspiration, and when the crap hits the fan and you got to suck it up to get to where you're going, sometimes I just feel better when there's a Republican in charge. So, I don't agree with everything that my party says, but I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of values, many values that overlap each other, and I just wouldn't see any other alternative.